Underground, I feel the Shakti calling, rising from the ashes of this Babylon falling, bringing back the wild for the freedom of us all. In our ancient memory recalling, deep in my bones I feel a new door open. It just birthed forth from this power I've been holding, breaking all the spells from the dark days of old, burning pages while the story's unfolding. With you to buy something new. Her song is a spiral, is a flaming rose, a spark in the seed from which our wildness grows. Her song is a spiral, is a flaming rose, a spark in the seed from which our wildness grows. Her wildness grows. This wildness inside this cage, howling for release. Best you clear the area before I turn the key. The sacred rage been brewing up for countless centuries. I gotta let this fire burn before I can know peace. I've had enough of beauty, now I'm ready for the beast. I'm tearing down the border so inside to make it leave. I felt the truth of harmony, nothing could compete. I'm taking off my shoes so dirt can be my feet. Sweetly cooling through the raindrops as they're falling, bringing all of us together in harmonious endeavor to connect us in her rhythms of the rock and tree and river, giving birth to her expression of a unified intention, welcoming the age of the wisdom of the soul, nurturing the wild so the wild can grow. The pendulum is swinging, finding balance in the middle. The crumbling stones give way to the feather and bone. Her song is a spiral, is a flaming rose, a spark in the seed from which our wildness grows. Her song is a spiral, is a flaming rose, a spark in the seed from which our wildness grows. Her wildness grows. Breaking through with you to buy something new.
Welcome
to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
It's time to wake up
and shine on. Hello, welcome to the Bring Me to Life podcast. I hope you enjoyed that little dance party we started out with.
Yes. Episode 175. Hello.
Yeah, let's celebrate that for a
Hello,
second.
yes.
175.
Yeah. Yep. We are 25 away from the 200.
That's
mark.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So if you enjoyed that song, I want to give a shout out to the Shakti Sound crew. That was their compilation mix from last year's event.
Mm-hmm.
This episode we're going to talk about some musical things, and I really just want to kind of reflect on the weekend that we just had together. We just spent the weekend in some very intense musical upgrading. I feel like I integrated and downloaded so much musical knowledge this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really cool, and we spent like 10 hours a day looking and learning about this kind of music that we want to create. There was a ecstatic dance workshop that I was really, really enjoying, because that's an area I think I would like to get into, because it's like a mix between a meditation and like a somatic meditation and like a relaxed meditation, but with dancing.
We got asked to do our first kind of ecstatic dance performance earlier this year by another virtual festival, the Inclusion Festival. And I have to say I was super nervous, and it went kind of interesting and good, and it was expanding, and I kind of got intrigued by the concept because it was never something I really saw us doing. But yeah, I enjoyed the ecstatic dance workshop too. Yeah. And the event we attended was called Unlocking the Mysteries of Music Production.
Beautiful.
And it was hosted by the Shakti Sound crew, which, like I said, they put together that song last year. And usually this event is in Costa Rica, and it's geared towards female producers. So it's like it's made for all genres of music globally, but specifically electronic, and like obviously unlocking those mysteries. And that's something I've been so intrigued by too, like not only the ecstatic dance part, but understanding how music converts into a digital language. It's quite mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing, because some of the ways that people do things you wouldn't even think about. Like, some people literally write music into a program, you know what I'm saying? And that's so amazing and mind-blowing to think about, where nowadays, like, you can combine your love of writing and turn it into music. They're doing studies and stuff where it can come straight from your brain.
I mean,
the signals of your brain could play an instrument.
That's taking it next level. I wish it could just come out of my brain, because there was so much intense knowledge, and there's so many little buttons in this program called Ableton that they were like dissecting. It
is advanced music making.
But there was something magical that unlocked in the resonance of it all. And to just see some of my, like some musicians and producers that I admired kind of show some of their secrets. Like we got to work with the guy from Beats Antique for a second and see an unreleased Beats Antique song, and like watched him kind of like piece it together. And I was just like mind blown by the amount of like detail and effort that goes into the danceable layers. And
a lot of effort.
And then we hung out with Sohan for 2 classes. And if you don't know Sohan, he's like a music collage sample master. And he'll take like all of the coolest parts of movies or shows or something and like mix them into something completely different and make it danceable and memorable. And it was pretty magical.
I love that San Francisco song.
Yeah, it's just like...
Yeah.
He had like a mix with like Home Alone in it and some other cool stuff, and I was just like, dang, piecing it all together.
Yes. Well, it was a really profound event, and I loved it because, you know, music is just so powerful, and to be able to create, for me, like we started creating sound healing music, and we've been wanting to get more into this. You know, I've created music in GarageBand for years, and just within this last year got Ableton and got a MIDI controller where it has beat pads, it has keys, so I could play it like a little keyboard. And it's so amazing to be able to create with all of that. So being able to learn some of the things I don't really understand, like the language of Ableton, some of the tricks and tips and things like that, where it was a big part of the festival and something that, I've been definitely hoping to learn more of, because for me, that's something I'm not very advanced with yet.
But you're working on it, and you're expanding, and you have a deeper understanding of, I have a deeper understanding of music theory and the amount of love and effort that goes into creating music. So if there's a musician out there, a producer that you admire, like, let them know that their music has changed you, because they put a lot of time, love, effort, and soul into that. And I know seeing all of those different teachers, I'm going to give them all a shout out here towards the end, but they put things together. And we do have
another song at the end too, for anybody who sticks around.
We have the song from Solar Sounds last year's event. So this event got put together. There was an all kind of female-based or feminine energy, which is Shakti sound. Yes. So for those of you who don't know, the definition of Shakti is the female principle of divine energy, especially when personified as a supreme deity or goddess. So Shakti sound is kind of created to embrace that divine energy of being a musical goddess. And then at the same time as that kind of birthing of that event between, I believe it's Magdalene Moondrop and her partner was Tish. I wish I knew more about Tish's experience. But they worked together to make Shakti sound. And on the other side of Costa Rica was Solar Sound by our friend Bloom, who's been on the radio before, which was the more masculine version. And they were sending energy to each other from across the Costa Rica space to just elevate the musical community. But what's so powerful about Shakti sound is there aren't very many feminine-based producer opportunities for from getting gigs to leveling up energetically. So it was super powerful to participate in that. And this was a co-ed event, so there was both there was just all kinds of energies and beings there, and it was a really beautiful experience to see all the different vibes come together in this virtual space. And
that was really cool.
Yeah, and I really loved seeing different people's energy and their perspective. I met a few new Rav and handpan players online, so that was pretty cool. And just the amount of interaction was pretty neat. In the chat room, there were people talking and wanting to get together outside, and it was sad not being able to be there in the physical, because I feel like I would have got a different perspective of it. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have got as much understanding of the digital realm of music as I did seeing it all on my screen, which was pretty powerful too. So it was pretty neat. I look forward to it. I'm excited for both Shakti and Solar Sound, and I'm excited for you guys to check out the Solar Sound song at the end. Both those songs will be available on Bandcamp, I believe, still, and they're donating the money to different entities. And one of them is, I believe, a scholarship to future Shakti Sound events, which they're already planning the next one for February, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a great event, and shout out to them. And I would love to see the power be way more equal between men, women, anybody who identifies as anything other than those two things. And we're helping. Everybody who's listening who agrees and resonates is helping with that. So shout out to everybody working hard for equality. Yeah, that's one of the big things here is equality.
Totally. So you were talking about enjoying the sound healing aspect and the ecstatic dance part. Do you think that was your favorite part of the event?
Oh man, it might have been, yeah, because just because it seems so exciting. I love dance music and I love meditation, and the way he was describing how he does his was so beautiful, because he has people start off by laying down and very chill music, and he creates a very sacred space by creating these boundaries so people stay off their phones. They keep their conversations down, and everybody's, as long as they're not running into people and causing harm to anybody else, they're free to kind of have their own experience and do whatever comes over them. And so he leads them, and he described a journey, and this beautiful journey, and the story that you weave together with this music. And it's so beautiful, because I love creating this meditation music, but I also love so many other people's music, because there's so many amazing people making music. So I get to, like, with the ecstatic dance, I get to share some of my meditation songs low key. I get to a bit with some more of my more upbeat songs. I can share shine resonance songs that we are creating together, and also from clouds, from all of our other amazing and beautiful sound wizards, and all those good, descriptions, words.
Yeah, so shout out to Tyler Blank, who taught the Ecstatic Dance Workshop that got CeeLo super inspired. So that's awesome.
Yes, thank you, Tyler.
I feel like I got a deeper understanding of the term resonance, too. Like, we use Shine Resonance as our musical entity, but do you actually know the definition of resonance?
The definition of resonance is the frequency of the sound waves reaching your receptors.
You're kind of close. I tried to give you a forewarning I was going to ask this question. So the definition of resonance is the quality and sound of being deep or full and reverberating, or the reinforcement of the prolongation of sound by reflection from other surface or synchronistic vibration of a neighboring object. So it's like you really are getting that deeper vibration when you're going into like a sound journey, or if you're going into a dance party, there's usually like what they call a drone, which is that like underlying sound or tone that's really got your heart either kind of pumping if you're dancing, or like relaxing if you're trying to ground in. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I learned a lot with that, and there was a few sound healing specific workshops that were, really inspiring. And so I'm excited to work on this music, to work on a Shine Resonance. I think that's a beautiful name, and even more beautiful after you gave me that quite, an intense description of it. That was a really great, I'm like, I learn something every day, and that's like, I don't know, in a video game they have +1, like 10, +20, that's like a +50 object right there. That's +50 experience points.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of experience points. I gained a lot of knowledge.
Yes, because we were learning for 3 days straight. Like the entire day.
It was also in an opposite time zone, so they were going until like 1-2 a.m. our time. So that was pretty wild. There was people from all over the world.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people from Australia and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And there were many people from Costa Rica. One of the sound guys, the sound healing people that you were really intrigued by, his name was Stephen Key, and he just has a lot of different musical offerings that were really inspiring.
Yeah, he was another one of the sound meditation people, and he had a sample pack with some really beautiful nature sounds that he had created and stuff with instruments. And I'm excited to be able to kind of weave in stuff that he had created so beautifully into projects. In fact, I came out with a new meditation yesterday on self-nurturing, and some of his nature sounds, and actually all of it was stuff that he had recorded himself, and I composed and pieced together. And in the music world, it's crazy because people make their own and then they trade it. So then they magnify their library of these sounds that they are blessed with to be able to, for us it would be to create a harmonious healing atmosphere.
Yeah, it is neat to see all the different people just collaborating and sharing. There was a lot of collaboration and just sharing of secrets and tips that they've gained in their journeys over their many years. like you said earlier, we're pretty new to Ableton, so that was just beautiful getting to see all those things that may have taken me years to learn and probably still will take me a long time to really digest the amount of information that was delivered for the one weekend. I think this is their first online event, so they definitely stocked it full of high vibe information. That being said, I definitely want to give a few shout outs to all the people involved so that they all get a second. And then I kind of want to reflect on your vision a little bit more of music. So again, shout out to the whole Shakti team. They had beautiful opening ceremony. There was a female producer named Hella Precious that had 2 different production workshops, and she dove deep into the ins and outs of Ableton and really kind of opened up the event nicely, because I was feeling instantly overwhelmed. And then Bloom and Moondrop, the 2 founders of the different events, came together for another production workshop. Alia, I hope I'm saying her name right, did a really cool creative information workshop in how to kind of connect as an unstoppable artist. She did the creativity workshop. I feel like I got a lot out of that one. She was like a inspiring coach of sorts.
Yeah.
And then we had Ashley Sargent, who did somatic meditation with movement and music. It was kind of like yoga almost. It helped me release a lot of tension from sitting there for so long.
Yeah.
Ambi Ra had a really cool DJing concept, introduced me to a new program, and had a lot of great music. I would love to attend one of her sets. It had me dancing. We had Sohan. He had 2 different kind of peeks into his process, which were super informative.
Definitely.
Diva Sonic showed how to produce some sound healing things. You mentioned Tyler Blank already. Mikey Pauker gave a good information session on musical business and how to approach it from a holistic standpoint. So he had some great feedback there. And then there was Root Flute, who was this amazing sound performer. He had some of the coolest and craziest instruments I have ever seen, and he made most of them.
Yeah.
He had this like
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, a series of singing bowls that he had like drilled and piped together and put like kick pedals on it so he could pedal like almost like a kick drum, these sound bowls. And then he had these like flutes made out of horns that he had collected. It was just amazing. Root Flute, go check it out. I don't even know how. Put me in a different sound zone.
Yes.
Sasha Rose showed some acoustic production. Parengi, you liked his was like the body movement.
Yeah.
He was teaching us how to basically beatbox and use your body as an instrument. That was neat. I'm excited to reflect on that one, maybe do it in my own time. And then Ben Templestep blew my mind with some sound theory. I wish it wouldn't have been at like 1 or 2 a.m. my time, because he was getting deep into the sound theory and was just breaking it down in such a way. We mentioned Stephen Key. Heather Christie did a production workshop. David Satori of Beats Antique, that blew my brain. We got to see an unreleased Beats Antique song and just analyze it. And I kept saying like, I just want to see like a fully finished or almost finished like dancey song and like how many samples go in it, because I had been getting into Ableton and I had been like, man, I'm using so many like little clips and things, like am I overdoing it? And then I saw theirs and was like, oh nope. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
My goodness.
No, they have groups within groups now. Okay, so it's just crazy.
It is like, I thought Photoshop was interesting from an artist perspective, how many like layers you can have. Music, mind-blowing. Then there was Maria Stark. She was awesome. She's one of the main creators of the song that we opened with from last year. She did a songwriting and inspiration workshop, and just she's so inspiring. She's like a queen in the music world right now, and give her some good vibes. And there was Aya, who did another how to make your drums sound good workshop. I'm excited to like reflect on that one when I get my drum box going again. And then the closing ceremony was just beautiful. It was a time for people to reflect a little bit and to connect, and I'm just excited to see how many beautiful producers or even just musical explorers come out of that, because you don't always have to consider yourself a producer. You can be a music explorer. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of them even said, you can break the rules sometimes. Like, this is usually how it is. But, I mean, if you're feeling something and you like it, like, it's okay to break the rules sometimes. which was kind of funny because they would say all these sayings, and then sometimes they would be like, but don't do it like all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like art. You don't want everything to be basically like a printed out picture or like perfect. Like you want it to have some human energy to it. Or maybe, maybe you want it to be super computer and digitized, but I liked that they had a lot of human aspects to it, and that it's a lot of, one of my favorite things, I know one of our listeners will like this because they like permission slips, but one of my favorite things was Maria Stark came on and she was like, I'm going to be your fairy godmother fairy right now and give you all a permission slip to just make fun, funky, weird music. And it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't even have to sound good. You don't ever have to share it, but please, for the love of everything, basically make some music and make it every day and try, like she has a challenge to like make a new song every week and give yourself permission to just have fun.
Yep. That's number one. Try to have some fun. I'm about it. So at some point you had mentioned that, there's a lot of layers in music. And if I may, I would like to kind of bridge that with, there's so many layers in the energy body and how music can affect all of those layers of the energy body. So I have this little picture, and I've been learning about the energy body more deeply, going beyond just the chakras, which are big, and there are many more than just 7 chakras. There's 7 major ones, and then it goes to like 12 or something like that, and there's hundreds of them within your body. But then there's also these energetic bodies surrounding your physical body. So we have the physical, on the physical plane, we have our mental body, our emotional body, and then an etheric body. What are your thoughts so far on these 3 parts of our energetic body, our energetic system?
Well, I like to visualize the different layers of the aura, kind of like our personal blueprint. And we begin to take in energy and emotions once we hit kind of that physical part of the blueprint because it soaks in. So I'm trying to visualize it in my mind. Usually when I'm doing the chakra course, I have like full detailed image of the full chakra and auric system in my mind. But I'm in music mode, so enlighten me. Tell me some more.
So going beyond that into the astral, into the spiritual, there's celestial bodies where I see that as like in the Avatar, The Last Airbender. There's a moment in time where he goes up into space basically, and there's this rainbow bridge that appears to his giant avatar self, which is like spread out past many planets. It's a huge avatar body, and he like has a conversation with it, and that always sticks in my mind when I hear celestial body, where it's like you're going to meet this higher aspect of your soul journey, your soul path from the creation of the very beginning. It's just like further in the lineage to the sun. And some people, like the Avatar and myself, we visualize that as like, that kind of thing where you're just, maybe your heart is the earth, and your body parts are the different planets.
I could see where you're going with that. Music definitely has a profound ability to alter just the way we feel in our physical experience. And I know that it can really boost our energy levels. It can calm us down. It can unite us with others. It can also kind of cause rifts with others sometimes. It's such an intense tool in subject matter. And the way that it affects the different auric layers is so intriguing to me. I'm just kind of taking it all in as you are chatting and kind of bringing up my downloads of the auric system. And it is interesting because the etheric body to me is connected with the root chakra, And if you're telling me that the music goes through in that level, then I'm just like visualizing, and I know that's true, like how plants and stuff react to music as well, and how much their roots must enjoy like the sound of certain natural vibrations.
It literally vibrates, you know, the soil that they're in, and it vibrates them, and they can feel it. And
like I'm thinking about the different people that have been making music with plants. That's so cool. There's a couple people that mentioned it during the event this weekend, how their goal is to make music with plants.
That is mind-blowing. And music is so mind-blowing because, you know, we have all these bodies. We have a physical body. We have these energetic bodies, this energetic system. And this music is sound vibration that affects all of that. And it affects it so deeply that sound healing is a legitimate thing that they're starting to really take seriously. Where it affects your circulatory system. It affects your breathing. And I was just listening to Tune In and Find the Others on the Bring Me to Life network. And his guest was talking about how patients with dementia, so these people with dementia had a really hard time understanding anything that was really going on. But as soon as they heard music from their childhood, from their young adulthood, whatever, they started remembering things. They started talking about these things. And that triggering those like deep understandings and experiences through something like that is so powerful. So it affects our brains. It affects our physical bodies. It affects our energy system.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's definitely all very true. And the Maria Stark, she was talking about that during the event too. She was like, she's in this challenge with her crew that they have to write a song every week, and they give themselves like themes or like inspirational topics, and this one was to like write I think it was like a poppy song about missing people or something, like a kind of like a heartbreak song. And she's like, I just wasn't really in the mood to do it. I was sick of playing my guitar. So she's like, but then I like thought about what might inspire me in that way. And she was like, you know, I took myself back to being a teenager in my room writing heartbreak songs to Dashboard Confessional and like playing my guitar in a different tuning and like exploring that. And she said that it like made her body feel a lot looser and she was more into it and she was able to integrate it. And I was like, that's just so funny because I totally connect different music to different times in my experience. And we actually had somebody just share a quote in the chat, which, reminder to those listening to the replay, you can join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays at the Bring Me to Life Network website, bringmetolife.com/podcast. And we have a chat room and there are awesome people in there. And our friend Sarah just shared a quote, and it was one I read recently and really enjoyed, so I'm glad she shared it. It says, art is how we decorate space and music is how we decorate time. By John Mitchell Baskate. I don't know how to say his last name, but it's a really cool quote and I appreciate it because it is how we decorate time. You can listen to a song and it will just take you back to a time or place where you like first connected it, or maybe you didn't know the song at all and it has just a certain like feel from a different era.
Yeah, there's a song I think about like with, you know, Nelly, Dilemma. Always reminds me of my friend Brian Fields because that was his him and his girlfriend's breakup song. Oh my
goodness, I feel like that was a lot of people's breakup song with growing up in our era. That's so weird.
Yeah, and that is just amazing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg with the power of music. And it's one reason I think why we're doing Shine Resonance. So what are your thoughts? Like, why are you so interested? Why are you spending so much time and energy trying to learn how to make this music?
I just love music. I love music so much that sometimes when I can't figure out a way to express music, it makes my whole like soul sad, because there's just this frequency, like you said, that's within all of us as beings. And for so long, I kind of turned that part of me off, and I thought I was only meant to be like a visual artist. Like, I do things really well with my hands. I like to paint. I love to make jewelry. I have tons of that on my website, and that's what I like shared for so long. Like, decades of my life has been making things. But there's this music that I feel like lives inside of me that I want to share, and I haven't quite figured out how to get it out yet, but my drum has been such a big help in that, because I can just pick it up and just start like beating on it. And you know, there's a lot of times I question, like, is this just a silly dream? Am I like trying to get into an industry or something that's too like saturated, or just even too dramatic right now? The music industry right now is insane. But then that's kind of what I was reminded again this weekend, is that's why more of us need to do it. More of us that want to do music because we're so passionate about it that it makes our whole body just feel some sort of way, that we take action on that, because that means that we would be making music and creating for love and for passion, rather than even just money or attention or whatever that is. But like allowing yourself to just create sounds. Like, I remember when I first got introduced to the Michigan crew, you guys would just like belt out some of the craziest noises. You would make animal noises, you would howl at each other, and like that's how you would find each other through the woods or at festivals. And as mouthy as I am, I never really like just made noises, because when I was younger, I felt like I got made fun of it for it. And I remember when I was a kid, I sang a lot in different church things. I talk about this a lot in my chakra class, how I was singing actually when my mom died. So that was like a powerful thing for me, and I felt like my voice kind of got zapped. But also I remember asking for a karaoke machine when I was a kid. I begged for a karaoke machine. That was like the thing I needed for Christmas.
Man, I remember.
It was such a big deal.
I remember feeling that way too. Like, yeah, dude, karaoke is dope.
I wanted one so bad, and then I got it, and it had a cassette player, and it was one of those cassette players back in the 90s you could like record songs to. Get this is a hilarious story. I'm going for it. So I would get this cassette tapes. I'd get blank cassette tapes, and I would copy little parts of things on the radio, and I would just kind of mash them together on my cassette tape, and then I would sing different parts of different lyrics I liked together. But I was ripping off of the other musicians, because I was like 6 to 10, you know, like I didn't really know a whole lot about music, but I loved just like getting that vibe. And I made the cassette tape, and I remember I played it in the karaoke machine at like one of my dad's like parties. He had some friends over and they were playing cards, and I was like, I'm gonna put this cassette tape in because they need some music right now. And they kind of laughed at me, and I'm sure they were just like, this little girl, she's being silly. But I remember my dad telling me, he was like, you can't just take pieces of other people's songs and put them together and call it music. And now what is music? Music is people sampling and remixing each other. I was ahead of my time. This was like 96, 95, 98, like before my brother was born, so early 90s, and I was like sampling songs on my little cassette tape. You know, if I would have kept doing that from then to now, how advanced I would have been. Oh, yeah. But I let him stop me, and I let him, and like, it's not his fault. He didn't know that was going to be like the jam, you know?
The next big thing that everybody was going to love.
But I was obsessed with like such silly musicians too. Like I was mixing Britney Spears and Eminem with some like Wu-Tang, and then I would throw in some country, and then I would just like, I just would mix whatever was big back then. There was some Avril Lavigne that got into it after I got a little older, and you know, I kind of still did it on Fruity Loops and like random programs, but I kept telling myself I couldn't, because I let everybody else tell me that. And I hope that anyone listening that's been like, Brian, I really want to try music. I really just, I don't know about my voice. Like, there's so many cool things you can do with people's voices now. Like, that's one thing it showed me, was if I'm afraid of my voice, no one ever has to know it's my voice, with all the amount of effects and layering and crazy things that are out there. And there's people out there that have the voice but don't know the musical aspect, so you can collaborate and come together. And yeah, that was my little side rant. You asked me why, and my why is because everyone told me I couldn't, and now I'm telling myself I can.
Yeah. And one of the musicians that we play their music sometimes, Holy River, she had talked about that she didn't find her voice until she was in her 20s, where
Lainey, yeah.
Yeah, Lainey, she thought, her voice wasn't that great, and so she was, the backup singer to Jameson, and then one day she just like let it open up that vocal channel and just let it out, and everybody just stopped and was kind of like, wow, and she became the lead singer after that.
I love it. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of getting a little closer there. One of the big things too that helped get my voice there was you brought up Bellini, and I met her at Culture Fest. It made me think of Mouth Council that used to be a big deal of Culture Fest. That was like one of my favorite parts was Billy Mays would whip out his looper thing, and like he would just hand it to people and be like, make any noise. Doesn't matter. You could make a crazy noise. You can make a sound with your hands. Like,
I could be like,
and he would just layer it and make the most magnificent collaborations. And there would be circles of anywhere from like 3 people to like, I think at one point I counted, we had like almost 30 people, and it gets pretty crazy. He just layers and layers, and it's so mystical to just see how sounds come together, and just
people love it too.
Oh man, they do, because it shows you that anybody can do it, and there's no need to stop yourself. I will say that I realized...
Mouth Council, shout out.
Yeah, Mouth Council, Infinite Third, Billy Mays the Third. Go check him out. Yes, it's Billy Mays' son. Yes, he's awesome.
He's on Twitch now, doing a lot on
Twitch. He just became a dad. Go give him some love. Billy Mays is awesome.
Yeah, I also see a comment. So thank you. Appreciate that.
Someone's congratulating Asilo on his great mouth noises.
Yeah.
It's from his Perengi beatbox class. We had another comment too that says they call their friends and sing to them and read them poems, and that's a good place to start. I started a few months ago. Yeah, on Bring Me to Life, I did a...
we have open-minded and hearted friends who are compassionate and kind.
Totally. Or you can find those kind of friends too. Totally. That's what Bring Me to Life's about. But
Bring Me to Life community, join it on Facebook. I'll stop interrupting
you. You're good. I just want to remember what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because now I don't.
Okay. You were inviting people.
Was I inviting people? You were inviting people to the Bring Me to Life community on Facebook.
Yes.
Oh, I was reminding people to check out the Revolution series that I did. Welcome to the Revolution, Evolution. I did a different genre each day for a while, and in those genres I included some spoken word pieces and some poetry and some different things I had created, some other things that other people have created. I'm still welcoming people to submit things to project bringme2life@gmail.com with the number 2, or just hit me up on a social media. I'll get you a link.
Is it not the .music?
There's a lot of different emails, but if people can just get a hold of us, say, hey, I have something.
Go to bringme2life.com and click contact.
Yeah. And we would like to get it in our reviews so that we can get things in the lineup. We're going to be doing some more musical radio streams here soon. We're just collecting some new stuff and rearranging.
Yes.
Getting things going. We're waiting on a few parts for a computer. If you want to make a donation to the network, it's helping us get our computer rolling and helping us just, keep investing in awesome projects and people like the Shakti Sound and beyond. Yes. Doing amazing things for the high vibe spiritual community.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we could help with and do, and we want to do more streaming and get on camera here when we could get there. And I'm excited to see what kind of movies I can create. Some high cool dope movies.
Yeah, let's do a group imagining right now, a group visualization.
Yes,
let's
please.
All visualize the Bring Me to Life network with an upgraded computer. The parts we need will be in stock and they will be working perfectly. And we'll be able to upgrade and bring you guys video in the very near future.
And reach more people and connect more people.
Yeah, we want to visualize reaching more people, you guys telling your friends and them telling their friends so that we can offer you more cool content and awesome offers. And also visualize yourself exploring the Bring Me to Life website, because there's lots of cool articles on there. Our friend Mooney has been putting up articles. We've had a few other submissions. Yeah, so that's our group imagining, is seeing upgrades across the board. And while we're here, let's just send everyone else some extra abundance as well, because you all deserve it. Group imagining the whole tribe with unlimited abundance.
Let's all give ourselves permission.
Giving ourselves permission.
Letting ourselves know we're worthy.
Abundance.
Yes.
Of course you're worthy. Have faith. You got this. Breathe it in. And yeah.
I am worthy.
Building a community. Bring it in the soul tribe. I'm excited about it.
Yes.
So do you have anything else you want to say about music and resonance?
I am so grateful to dive into this topic and, go further, because there's a lot of different ways that music changes matter, vibration, water changes with the sound. The universe was apparently created with sound, and they describe it in both the Bible and the scientists. In the Word was the beginning. The universe was created with a big bang. That's like a loud noise. So there is your signs right there that, music, sound, it changes matter. It changes physical aspect of matter. And it's invisible. We can't even see the waves of music.
Do you want to know the definition of music, since I love definitions?
Shannon has a definition. What is it?
The definition of sound. That's what I said, right? Because that's what
it was either sound or music.
I think I said music. I'm going to give you the definition of sound. It's vibrations that travel through the air or another medium that can be heard when they reach a person or animal's ear. It's produced by a continuous or regular vibration, opposed to noise, which is sudden.
Wow, so a continuous vibration.
I just think it's interesting that it has to be a vibration that travels through a person or animal's ear.
Yeah.
I guess that's why they're always like, does a tree make a sound if there's no one there to hear it?
Right. Yeah, and that's a question that I've contemplated many times. And it is so fascinating because, there's no sound. There's just a wave of a vibration in our ears with our eardrums. It creates that physical sound to us.
The other night during the full moon, you were taking a full moon bath, and I decided I wanted to go and sit outside for a minute. I thought it was so funny because of all the times I could have picked to sit outside, I went outside and I stared at the sky, and it was completely gray. It was like staring into a gray void of nothingness. I couldn't see any stars, couldn't really see the moon, but I felt like I needed to be out there. And I just laid on the ground for a second, and it was weird because there weren't even really any crickets, which is strange because there's been so many crickets this season. But I could hear everything in the woods, and I could hear like drops coming from kind of like the leaves because it had kind of rained, not real close, but there were like drops I could hear echoing through the forest. And then all of a sudden I was just kind of like thinking about something that I'm sure in that moment seemed so profound, and I heard the creaking of a tree as it began to fall and basically just hit the ground, and then it echoed, and I felt it in the ground like through the woods. And I was like, I was out here to witness that tree fall, because if I wouldn't have been there, who's to know if it would have been witnessed and heard? And I kept thinking of that question, like, would anybody have heard it? Who else could have been out here listening to that same noise echo across the woods?
Yeah, there's a lot of animals here. They're dripping. They're there to hear it, which is very interesting. It's like even matter when with your eyes. When you look at matter, it changes. When you look at photons, they change based on your observation of them, which is like so mind-blowing how our literal physical surroundings change and are recepted by these tools on our bodies. Like physical matter, it's all light. Atoms, like reflecting light. like
taking
color,
that all in.
surface, everything.
Mm.
A mirror is a mirror because it's so smooth that it completely reflects all of the light.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how things don't exist when you can't see them sometimes. I don't know, life's weird. We live in such a weird dimension, guys.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have music in your head, that's great, but it's much more powerful to get it out into some fashion, like, which is a big reason we did the the weekend with Shakti Sound, to kind of learn how to express that music that's going on within us, because I feel like we all have this rhythm. We all have a heartbeat, and each heartbeat might be just slightly different, but we all have our own rhythm, and it's a beautiful rhythm. And people love it. People love it when other people are so into their rhythm that they're just going with it and letting it flow. And, I came up with this mantra recently that no matter what you do, it will always reach who it's meant to. So don't be afraid of, what if this doesn't get out there, or what if nobody will appreciate it, or whatever. Sometimes things start slow. Like I had this video on YouTube that didn't get hardly any views, and then years later, all of a sudden, it's getting a whole bunch of views.
Yeah, do things for the love of that passion of whatever that thing is, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's writing that book, running that marathon, going on that adventure, whatever it is. Like, do it for the love and the passion that you have for that thing, not necessarily for the reward or the expectation of the outcome, or to have fans or even support. Do it because you love it and you want to support the energy of that passionate thing, whatever it is. I think that's one of the things I learned through the weekend, is to I'm going to do music for the love of music.
Yeah. Yes.
So cool. Do you think it's about time to do a quick little energy read? Did you want to play any songs while we get comfy for quick?
Yes, I do. Real quick, I want to call on Mooney, who had a question. She said, do you listen to slow beats when you're upset / down, or more upbeat music? Because I feel like it changes for me sometimes. Just curious.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
It really depends on what energy I want to feel. So if I want to process the frustration or the sadness or the anger, and I kind of want to sit in it for a minute, I'll play like flashback or throwback songs that let me just experience it. I find myself listening to like more like rappy, intense music or something if I'm frustrated or angry, because it's got like a fast beat. So I'm not like...
It gives you a channel to express.
Yeah, and it lets me not sit in the sadness too long, but also kind of like channel through the frustration. I think that was kind of like my outlet growing up. I grew up with a cousin who really loved Eminem. Yeah. So he's got a lot of anger in his earlier music and most of his music. So like, goodness. I don't say I'm listening to Eminem on the reg anymore, but like... Just
every once in a while, throwbacks.
Whatever comes on the random playlist sometimes. But I find myself... If I'm in a lower vibration now, I try to listen to something that wants to make me dance, because if I'm frustrated, then my body's tense. And I've been personally trying to use more dance, especially when I'm in my alone practice. Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll be stressed out. I have a bunch of sessions, or I have a bunch of things on my to-do list, and I just don't know how to get in that space. And I will decide to like make some tea or something. And while it's getting ready, I will put on a dance playlist and just force myself to wiggle, even if it's just like wiggling and I'm not actually dancing, so that I release it out of my body. And usually by the time I'm done, like I give myself at least 3 minutes to reframe what's going on. And that's been helping my body a lot too. I have a lot of aches in my legs, because sometimes I get a little ungrounded being in my upper chakras a lot and channeling for people pretty regularly.
That's why I'm always like, all right, let's go outside.
Sela likes to take me on walks.
Dude, walks are great. Like, we should be taking walks at least twice a day.
Sela must get like a little ping in his head. It's like, I'm going to take my Shannon on a walk now.
Absolutely. And you get to walk and think about things and just kind of breathe in some oxygen and think about stuff and kind of come up with some solutions, some creative solutions.
Yeah, and I found myself sometimes when I have too much energy, like maybe I'm in too good of a vibe, and I'll have so much energy that if I don't release it, I'll start overthinking, or I'll like block myself. So when I get really excited now, I try to do little happy dances, like if I get a sale on my website, or I had a great session with a good client, or I just heard good news from somebody, I'll try to have like a little dance party again, even if it's just like wiggling my shoulders. I'm doing it right now, and just like
Shannon's wiggling her shoulders right now.
Embrace the energy around me, because I know sometimes I work with people and they're like, I just have so much energy right now, I don't even know what to do, and I'm like, dance. I like to, sometimes I'll watch Body Groove, which is this chick on the internet that does dancing. And I've never like bought one of her courses or anything, but she just has like free ones on Facebook, and I've come across them, and her vibe just gets me. And she's just got some songs where she's like, use the body that you were gifted. And it doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how you move. Sometimes she just punches the air and she just releases the energy. And I love that. It's inspired me to kind of, and I think maybe that's why I'm like excited about ecstatic dance now, because she gave me a whole new perspective on it. Like sometimes she's not even in rhythm, she's just moving.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work on some ecstatic dance events. I think those will be something that we will be planning, ahead and working on here soon. And so we have, a podcast here live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and some really cool stuff that we have to look forward to.
Yeah, let us know if you'd want to join us like for a virtual dance party, maybe in Zoom or something. I know we can't do it on Facebook. Got to get off social media. Do us a favor, guys. Go like us on, not Facebook. Go check another social media out. Come like our actual website, like interact on there. There's tons of places you can leave comments. You can check us out on YouTube. We're not going to be able to do ecstatic dances there because most social medias are stopping things. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, let us know what platform you think you'd be able to join us in via Zoom or Twitch, whatever. Do some DJing, get a little dancing going. I'm excited about it. Real
Have
quick.
a little fun.
Yeah. A little bit of other new business before we hop into Energy Forecast.
Yes.
There are new episodes of Incense and Whiskey dropping this week. Tune in, Find the Others just hit iHeartRadio. And we got Shamanic Living coming out next week.
Find the Others. That's gonna be a good one. And Shamanic Living is great.
You just did an episode of Afternoons with the Dudes today, which was really epic.
Yep. It's right here on the website. You can just go to the podcast tab and click on Afternoons with the Dudes after we're done here, obviously, if that's something you're interested in. And we talked about healing trauma and working with unmanaged energy and how we can, work through that and move on. Yeah,
you also so you did that with the guys. Then we also had a new episode with Golden Guy and Adventure. She recently released an episode. Haven't heard from her in a while, so it was nice to get a new episode from them. And then I'm going to get Awakening with the Girls going again. Stay tuned. We have the Galactic series coming. I just got to edit through some things. And let me know if you're hyped to talk Galactic Heritage. Who's into some Galactic Starseed vibes? I'm excited about that. Speaking of spacey things, is it Energy Forecast time?
Yeah, should I play a little bit of a song and give you time?
Yeah, it's up to you.
All right, I'm going to play the song, and we'll have an Energy Forecast here in a few minutes.
Stay tuned. we're coming back. We're going to do a quick energy reading for you all. My part is going to be through my language of light cards. Just give you a little bit of collective vibe of what's happening. So, as you know, I love this deck. It gives us a meditation, some things to reflect on, and it's so good I just like to read from its book because I'm still learning its awesome messages, and they're usually spot on for what we need. If you'd ever like a personal reading, though, hit me up. I do it more intuitively, use a couple different decks. You can ask me specific questions, but here in this space, we like to do collective readings. That being said, the first card that I pulled is the Soul Journey card. You are ready to start. It's time to take action in your dreams. A new chapter is beginning for you right now. This time, go easy on yourself. Be the courageous, loving being that you are and breathe into the present moment and allow any anxieties to drop away. Enjoy the journey and stop thinking the future will have to bring something better. When the future arrives, it will be the now. Step out of the shadow of your past. All that matters is what you decide to do from this moment, and your life is yours to live in whatever way is most meaningful to you. You brought yourself into this life, and you are responsible for the quality of it. Trying to understand your reason for coming here will just hold you back. Just remember, everything you have done was the best thing that you could do in that time. Or you thought it was, and you took action, and that's okay. As you move forward, you will understand your motives, and experience allows you to better handle crisis. You now deliberately are creating a new chapter in your life, and you are such an amazing pioneer. Some other reflections and actions are, everything occurs to help us clarify and focus on what we love. Don't let anything sway you from this. Care about how you feel by adjusting your focus to the soul of your heart, and be kind to yourself right now in every moment because you are doing, again, the best that you can. It's a good time to treat yourself to some spa treatment, a sacred bath, massage, or some energy healing. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're going to go to the next card. The next card we have is, let's see here. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. I love that already. It says, be authentic. I believe we had this one last week. It says, today, embrace your uniqueness. Say to yourself, I am so pleased and honored to be me. Embrace the parts of you that you may feel are a little strange, for they make you you. They feel this way because you resist experiencing the fullness of you. We can all feel a little odd or peculiar at times, as we are longing to be like everyone else and just fit in. But compromise breeds resentment. Locking yourself into the pretense of what others want will still strangle your soul and split you into two. Accept yourself and set yourself free from judgment and what you perceive others may think about you. It's okay to let go. Let your soul shine outward and inspire others to connect and embrace and shine their own truth by being your truth. When we are aligned with our soul, we feel loved and satisfied, and we no longer need others to lean on and to fill our perceived voids or to be different to who they are. Instead, we want to be with others for the pure joy of it. We want to do things for the pure joy of it. And we want to create new ways towards anything that is of interest to us. And you can feel the relief wash over you. And remember that you are beautiful. That's pretty powerful, right along with tonight's message. So it says, for some inspired reflections, take the time to know yourself through daily self-reflection. Select a great moment from your day to embrace. Then name a difficult moment and to aim to heal it. I'm going to reread that part. Take a time to know yourself through daily self-reflection. Select a great moment from your day to embrace, and then a difficult moment to heal, basically. You can take credit for all the things that you love about your life and show gratitude. And allow yourself to reflect on things that you like about yourself and your current experience. Pretty powerful.
Yeah, very sure. That is so powerful.
So I have one more card. I'm going to keep going.
Okay. I was just like so powerful. I'm like, bam.
This card is joy.
Nice.
This card comes up out of this deck for me a lot, and I love it. It says, discover what you love. If a thought does not give you joy, then search for one that does, and thank that thought for showing you where you don't feel joyful, and then reach out for a pleasing thought. You can empower yourself by choosing joyful thoughts, and you will disempower yourself by choosing sad thoughts. What will you choose today? There's almost always something to make you feel at ease in every situation, and it is up to you to find that. Try reaching out for joyous thoughts right now. Take that moment. What's a joyous thought? if you're with us in the chat, share a joyous thought in the chat. Share it in the Bring Me to Life community on Facebook. Share it on our Instagram. Let us know, what is a joyous thought you've been having, or an experience that you've been witnessing, processing, integrating. Look around your house at what gives you joy. Turn inward to the joy in your life, and if you can't find it outside, go within it even deeper and create that inner joy. It's not always the easiest thing to do. However, it is one of those most worthwhile things that you can do for your physical and mental and spiritual well-being. Open your heart to allow blissful inspiration to direct your actions, and you will give without expectation. You will find joy in your natural state of being, and remember that now is the time to honor it. Invite joy into your life. Read or watch your favorite comedies and laugh out loud. Put some fun music on and move your hips in a figure 8 to release stored energy. I can't believe that's in here. That's hilarious. We just talked about that. In some of the journals is to draw or write about 7 things that you've enjoyed doing. It doesn't matter what they are, and the more trivial, the easier it is to allow joy and love. Remember that playtime encourages creative genius and access to the greater soul wisdom. I literally, every time I do a reading after we do a podcast from this deck, it like hits me so deep in the soul. I'm like, wow. People always are like, I don't know if those cards work, or I don't know if I believe in oracle cards, but like, these always just seem to naturally reflect what our message is. Like we talked about joy and doing things for the love of music, and we talked about using dance to reflect that stored energy, and then the book's even like, do a figure 8. So for anyone that's like skeptical about readings, I just hope that you take some energy from this, and that you can see that spirit likes to speak to us and through us in very unique ways. And I'm a visual person, so I love art. I'm going to do my best to remember to take a picture of these and share these in the Bring Me to Life community so you can see them, because we got some amazing cloud imagery. We got a really cool, we got like a chakra meditation dude, spirit energy with like a big glowing heart.
Yes, I love that. Which
is pretty powerful. I feel like, because we were talking about resonating and meditating, and then the joy is like the Merkaba with the heart exploding in it too. And man, I don't know. It's just a lot of good vibes. I'm feeling pretty good right now. Yeah. I feel like I'm in a vibe.
Good. Well, let me read off some of these comments from other people who commented their moments. Our friend Mooney said that she was climbing and chilling in a tree, and it made her feel really good. Sarah thinks about her upcoming trip, and she enjoys that. So we wish you a good trip whenever you get to go on it, and may you fulfill all your truest heart's desires. As I said that I recently got recognized by my job, so that was pretty cool. Like, just being recognized for doing a good job is really nice. So there's are some comments, and it's a very powerful reading. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm feeling just a lot of joy for the opportunity to explore the musical realm, the artistic realm.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some people in person this weekend. I'm going to get to I'm joyfully sharing some art at Juice. That's going to be fun. And just thinking about that makes my heart happy.
Pizza after?
We're going to get some juice at Juice, and then we're going to go to JJ Hatley's and get some amazing pizza. If you're in Altoona, go check it out. I love their pizza. They had a pierogi pizza.
I got a little bonus. I'm gonna get some pizza, some juice.
CeeLo's the employee of the month. He's doing some big things. He's helping some awesome people. I'm proud of him.
Man, that is so funny to think about, but honestly, it just feels good to be recognized. So I'm like a caregiver during the day sometimes, and it's just nice to be appreciated for helping people out.
Yeah, I mean, they need some extra love, and you've been helping some different veterans and different people who just might not have as much attention. So I know you're very attentive, and they're lucky to have you on their team.
Yes, I celebrate that and celebrate all of your blessings. Everybody tuned in right now. Grateful for that.
Blessings. Another blessing we have is the heat from the sun. And today was a beautiful fall day here in the Appalachian Mountains. It's starting to turn. The leaves are amazing.
Yes. Beautiful leaves, beautiful weather. beautiful sunshine. And, speaking of the sun, I don't know if it feels like a new beginning to you this time around here. But I mentioned last podcast that we were entering into a new solar cycle. So we are in a new solar cycle where the solar activity will start to ramp up. And I talked many times how I believe that the sun is very reflective of our consciousness. And a lot of times when there's a lot of solar flares, when there's a lot of things happening with the sun, then there's these major breakthroughs. Like 2012 was one of the last times when the sun was really in its height of activity. So being here at the beginning, we've had some baby solar flares, and we did have a baby solar flare on Monday, which was just an A class flare, an 8.1. Nothing to be too worried about. Right now, the solar wind speed is 324 kilometers per second. So last week it was up there, so it's calming down the wind speed a little bit. It might lessen some of the aurora borealis that's happening all around the country. So right now we're in just the beginning phase of this new solar cycle. In the next year or two, it'll start to pick up again, and then in maybe 5 or 6 years it's probably most active. So kind of going to the other end to balance it out a little bit, to talk about the moon. Right now we are in a waning gibbous, and the moon is in Gemini right now. So
we just did our last full moon ceremony. It was really awesome. I'm looking forward to the new moon ceremony. Did we get a date for that? Is it still pending?
Let me open up my calendar here.
You can definitely find information in the upcoming days on our new moon ceremony. We do ceremonies to celebrate the full and new moons at bringmetolife.com/moon. Yeah. And I do personal readings during those experiences, and you get to hear my drum, and you get to hear CeeLo's flute, and we have the chat room, and we set intentions.
Yes.
I think we were trying to figure out if it's
Wednesday
best to do
or Friday.
Wednesdays or Fridays. Yeah. If you're listening, do you prefer... Okay, so here's a question for the listeners. Would you prefer to have a new moon ceremony on Wednesday evening, the day after our live podcast, or would you prefer to have it on Friday evening? We don't like to do it on Thursdays because our good friends over at Paradigm Shift do another podcast at 8 p.m. on Thursdays that sometimes CeeLo is featured in. So there's something for you to do on Thursdays. So let us know if you like ceremonies better on a Wednesday or a Friday.
Maybe you could even do Mondays.
That's true. That being said, there's some other cool things happening in space. If you didn't know, Mars is in retrograde. Our friend Mooney did an article on Mars retrograde. And if it's not Mercury, people typically don't care.
Right.
But right now, Mars is doing some crazy stuff. It's been doing some crazy stuff since September 13th.
Damn.
And will continue to do some crazy stuff until November 13th. So if you've been feeling, as Mooney would say,
my birthday time,
some sort of way, if you've been feeling some sort of way, then go check out the article on the Mars retrograde and get yourself informed on what that energy could mean to you. Some people don't believe in it. That's okay too, but I like to share all perspectives. Go check out that article and all the other articles. I think she also just released one on comfort crystals. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, then there's a top 5 crystals for comfort and some other cool things.
Dope, yeah. A beautiful article, and I enjoyed reading it, and I'm really grateful to have Mooney, writing articles, and I appreciate that. So thank you. And we do have available options if anybody is interested in anything like that. They can just go to bringmetolife.com and click on the contact page.
Yeah, if you want to write an article, or if you want to be a sponsor, we all are accepting sponsors for our different podcasts. If you want to hop on and help, again, help us get our network rolling and investing in even more amazing high vibe people. We do sponsorships. You can hear about your business or your offering here if it's aligned with our mission. What are our core values, CeeLo?
Peace, love, equality, unity, and
community.
All right, so I do want to shout out Sarah's son's birthday is on the 12th of November.
Oh,
right around my birthday, so happy birthday,
Scorpio
friend.
babies.
Yep.
Cool.
Turning 8.
Well, happy birthday, dude. I hope you
Yes.
have a great
That's such a powerful number.
incarnation celebration.
Yeah. Infinity.
Cool. So this has been a really awesome podcast. I've talked a lot. I feel like you have too. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good. We could play the song and then we'll send it off after that.
All right, guys. I want you all to check out this song by the Solar Sound Crew. I really dig it, and I hope you do too.
What you know about the solar sound? There's no doubt at all that we hold it down. We all kings in here, that we don't have crowns. We don't drink much beer, but we love cacao, you dig? Got bass that'll melt your face when we speak our piece like swells of waves. We straight enter into the higher realms. That's why I wrote this verse to remind myself, you dig?
Volviendo a la vida solo después de estar muerto, donde no tengo una casa ni tampoco apartamento. Yo solo tengo amigos, la música y el momento. Solo traigo alegría para alejar el sufrimiento. Solo mueve lo que hay que mover. Cierra los ojos, siente toda la energía fluir. Esto nuevo que va a acontecer es para todo, esto se hizo para compartir.
Tega gabe kares bis ne gabe terabas Bodu kwaswetares malekus insikiri ebi imonochet.
Don't know what to do with my life. I'm just hoping that I'm doing it right. Somebody give me advice. The only thing I know is that I'm joining the light. I'm part of the particle part and I'm part of the party, y'all. My life is moving fast, it's so limited. I know I am eternal, that's why I say I'm unlimited. The gift was given by God through my vessel, and I wake up like God'll test you.
This is how it starts. Human is the race. Men connect at the heart, so we start with the base. Leave out the ego, build the rhythm, the flow is fuego. A solar system, there's no dividing this organism. Reimagine the masculine, realign with the feminine. Watch as we swing the pendulum. Only love that we give in a warrior hi-hat. Don't get caught up in the snare. EQ your life, simplify your layers.
Brothers of the sun, we are the soul, we are the seeds, dreams we will sow. The future is our master place, the place we foresee. The moment is our music, this life is our dream.
Somos hermanos, fuertes y sanos. Cambiamos el mundo con las manos. Cada día una bendición. Damos gracias del corazón.
We are a part of the new wave. This is the start of a new age. Let's be the dawn of a new day. Let's be reborn, pave a new way. Let's go outside, let our inner child play. Don't be afraid, say whatever you wanna say. We lead the way and we never gonna stray. The golden age is in here and it's here to stay.
Tega gabe kares bis ne gabe terabas Bodu kwaswetares malekus insikiri ebi imonochet. It's time to feel the soul throbbing. It's been a long time, yet still I'm arriving in divine timing. Despite the dirt and pressure, yo, I am shining like a diamond. My prana is rising like a snake winding up the spine, climbing till the mind gets reminded that life is so vibrant when you find your alignment.
Conjuring space-time, heightened mind and rhyme. Strengthened passion to hold new paradigms we make bold. Non-hierarchical sociology, birthing wild anthropologies, aligning economics and ecology.
Once more co-creating and relating, no longer hesitating with the lyrical fluctuations that come straight through space and time. When I rhyme through your vortex, right through your cortex. Too many multi-dimensions to mention, to the point where we transcend ascension. Too many multi-dimensions to mention, to the point where we transcend ascension.
Tega gabe kares
Bisneka veterabas Urukos wetares malekus Kinsikiri ebi iwonochen
Aether, earth, wind, water, and fire. Wild gentlemen making music to inspire, crafting psychedelic sound so you can move your body. We be mystical men, sending love to the Shakti. Jedi's, ninja, sages, we be wizards of the sound, full of love and creativity all around. We be bouncing up and down to that sacred supersonic. Shakti solar sound is the Hogwarts of music.
Tega kabekares Bisneka veterabas Urukos wetares malekus Kinsikiri ebi iwonochen Tega kabekares Bisneka veterabas Urukos wetares malekus Kinsikiri ebi iwonochen
What a beautiful song, and so well fit into the end of the solar flare update.
I thought so too. I love hearing it. They have, again, videos for both of those songs, the Shakti sound and the solar sound. Songs that we shared today, they have videos for them.
Yeah.
I know at one point any donations that were made were going to, again, different communities.
Yeah.
So they're making things happen. All of the collaborators for those groups are just amazing beings. Like, shout out to Bloom, who introduced me to the crew. He's going, I think, by Bloomarian right now. He was Bloom Music. He won one of the Crystal Chakra Crystal Chalice Awards. And
Bloomarian.
Yeah, and then there's Magdalene Moondrop is one of the founders of Shakti Sound, and she was holding it down. She was doing, again, like the 10-hour days for 3 days, and there was over 150 people involved, and it was just a beautiful experience. They're already planning their next one in February, so go follow them, check them out, and I'm looking forward to integrating all that knowledge.
Absolutely. You can find Solar Sound on YouTube, spelled just like how you would, 2 words, Solar Sound. And their video is up. It's called Brothers of the Sun. It has a little pyramid at the beginning, so look out for that.
Yeah. Bloom has a lyric at the end of the Solar Sound song, and it says, Solar Shakti Sound is the Hogwarts of music. And I'm like, that's just like so up my alley. It just makes me smile every time I hear it. Like, big cheesy grin. Like, it is. That's cool.
I love it. So thank you all for tuning in here to the Bring Me Life podcast, episode 175.
Yeah.
We made it, and we appreciate all who made it with us.
See y'all next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Join us in the chat room. Check us out at Bring Me to Life Community on Facebook with the number 2. Bring Me to Life Network with periods in between it on Instagram. Or if you find me, Shantastic Shine, I'll help lead you there. And you got Sealamon Official holding it down. How you feeling? Think it's time?
It's time. It is time. It is time to stay awake.
And shine on. For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of it, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, it's inside me, that connects us.
Thanks for shining on with us.